Good morning, gang. Good morning. Welcome to this week's YouTube video, Bitcoin technical analysis. Apologies, it's been a while. Last week I did plan to put out a video, but sadly my computer bricked halfway through the week, so I spent the rest of the week fixing it, and here we are today. So yeah, it was a bit of a shit week last week, but anyway, moving on. What's been happening in the charts? Well, nothing much. First and foremost, remember, nothing today discussed is financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This is just for educational purposes only, and my view of the markets. Yeah, that's out of the way now. Right, so what's happening? Monthly, we're still in a downtrend. Clear as day. Obviously, we've been ranging now for quite a few months. Could we be seeing the end of this range? Well, let's zoom in and take a look in a second. Weekly, obviously, is still down. We did get a close here last week, which didn't take out the previous close, but obviously we're on the border now, so it's something to watch. And then obviously the daily, like we were discussing a couple of weeks back, we had started this downtrend, and even though we got this pump up, we still then followed it through with another lower high, lower low even, put my words in. Right, so obviously this channel, now we've been talking about this channel now for weeks on the public YouTube, and once again it caught the outside of the move perfectly down here, and this is something we were talking about. In fact, it was 2 weeks ago. I think price was down here 2 weeks ago when the last record of the video, or it could have been down here, and we were talking about we could get the pump up here into the golden pocket at the time. And obviously we've got this perfect rejection. Everyone was getting bullish at this point. Loads of trapped longs up here. And in typical Bitcoin style, price nuked down. And here's a quick screenshot from the video that we were talking about. So we said we were down here on price. We were saying, well, if we can get above this last range, then initially we'll be looking for the point of control, which also lined it up with the EQ of the overall range. Clear above that, which we did. We carried on pushing through when we were looking at that golden pocket region. And that's exactly what happened. We got that golden pocket region. And we dumped, and we made a lower low. So obviously if you caught that trade, well played. Obviously it was very easy to get bullish up here, but it always is. On the end of a move like this, especially a thin move like this, you know, the average trader is starting to get extremely bullish. You know, thinking, well, we're going to go to the top of the range, or new all-time highs, that's it, bottoms in, pi cycle indicator says lows in, you know, Moon Boys on Twitter says lows in, but that's it, we're going up now. But obviously we've been range bound, we've been in this same range for months. You know, we don't think like that, especially when we're still in this descending channel. It's madness, it's madness. You know, as price pumps, you look to take profits on your longs, or you look for shorts. As price dumps, you look to take profits on your shorts and you look for longs. It's as simple as that. It's not the other way around. That's how you get wrecked. Anyway, I'm ranting again. Let's come out of here. Let's have a look at what we're doing at the moment then. So obviously, as we've just said, we're still in this range. This range still hasn't been broken on either side. We've got perfect highs, perfect lows, and obviously we've got the EQ, which price does tend to linger around, which is very standard for a range. So what could we be looking at next? Well, let's throw the channel back on. Let's have a see. So we've got the EQ of the overall range up here. Have we got any other confluence down here? Well, let's draw on fib. Okay, so we've got the golden pocket just below it. Let's throw on a volume profile. Get a bit of a clearer picture of where the volume is being traded. Okay, so now we've got a little bit of a picture built up here. So we've got the point of control has now moved down. Obviously the point of control historically was up here. Now this is something still to be aware of, because we do have this very high volume node here, which is going to act as resistance if price does get up to it. So obviously if price does come back up from here, manage to flip this new point of control and then get higher, then we can see that from this golden pocket up to this range EQ, we've got this high volume node. So obviously that is something to be aware of if we do get up to these levels. You know, could we potentially break out the channel once again, like we did here? Slightly break out the channel, get everyone bullish, everyone gets excited, and then reverses back into the channel. Well, it's a possibility. It's a possibility. Obviously, you've got to think about how the masses are reacting to things like this. Obviously, if you get outside of a range here, everyone's going to flip so bullish, just like they did here in this small wick. If you zoom into a lower time frame, we can see that, you know, we had one tryout, came back in, we had another tryout, and then we started lingering on the outside of it. Now some people would say, oh, that's a confirmed breakout because we've come back, we've back tested it, and then we started pushing up again. But again, that's a breakout trade. And for anyone that's unaware of how we trade in the group, you know, breakout trades have really low hit rates because of this very reason. It's a terrible trade to make. Terrible trade. You know, if you took along from these lows, or you were trading this range, or you were trading this range, that would be 100% a take profit. Even if it's just a take profit 1, and then you move your stops to entry. You would not wait until you got up here and then trade that breakout. Again, I'm ranting again. Got to stop doing this. So this is what we're looking at. So obviously, if price does break out this range and starts pushing up into this high volume node, then, you know, we could potentially looking at taking profits on our longs or looking to scale into some shorts. If that doesn't happen and price continues higher and gets above this node, then we could be looking once again up at this level, which lines up again with that old golden pocket there and the value area high. If price doesn't get a rejection there and continues up, then we've got this to contend with. If not, this to contend with. Let's throw on some high time frame SR levels as well, just to give us a little bit more confluence. So we can see here that, you know, there's still, even within this gap here, there's a lot of resistance. You know, if we can clear all this and get above everything, then, you know, ultimately we could be looking for the range highs again. Would that be a time to long? No, hell no. Why would you be longing up here? You're at the range highs. You'd be looking for shorts, or you'd be taking profits on your longs. If you can successfully break out of this channel, and like we've been saying now for weeks, then, you know, we've got this fresh weekly level up here, which lines up with the overall range value area low. Excuse my squiggly drawings. And then we've also got a point of control that runs right through this. Let's have a look at this. Got a point of control here. So obviously, as I teach with volume profiles, if an old naked point of control like this and price leaves this range, when it first comes back to this range, that point of control is likely going to act like a magnet. And once it gets to that, then likely you're going to get a reaction. I'm not saying you're guaranteed to have a reaction, but there's a high chance that you have a reaction, which is why this weekly level is so important, in my opinion, which is roughly coming in around 29.8k. You know, this whole zone, really, this whole range is an area of interest for me, potentially looking at shorts or taking profits on longs. You know, it's as simple as that. Once again, what happens to the downside? Well, let's throw these SR levels back on. Let's clean up this. Let's get rid of this fib here. So, if price does end up ultimately breaking down, then first and foremost, like we've been saying for a few weeks, we're looking at this range low. If that range low doesn't hold, then ideally, I want to see this swing fairly pattern down to this daily level, back up, reclaim, and then again, you've got a long trigger to continue trading the range, level to level, nothing complex. If price does break down from here, then, well, we've talked about that a few weeks ago. I'll try to remember to put a video link somewhere up on the screen. And, you know, we could be looking down at this old range down here, which, if I throw on the volume profiles, then we can see, you know, we've got this old range here. So we've got this value area high here coming in roughly around, give or take, 12k. Just under that, we've got a fresh monthly level here. And then if, you know, if it all does break down and go a bit crazy, then we've got a point of control down here, or the value area low. Either way, you know, this is what we could be looking at if we do get a breakdown, but I'm not saying we are going to get a breakdown because nobody knows where price is going to go. you know, it's one thing that we get questioned quite a lot in the group. Let's just hide this and let's zoom back in. You know, people say, especially at this level here, it's like, Spitty, how did you know that price was going to react there and drop like stone? Well, I didn't. I didn't know that price was going to react there. I just had a plan. If we are going to see a reaction, then this is an area of interest because it's got high confluence. We were saying at the time, you know, it had the golden pocket there, it had the outside of the channel there. It coincided with a Fed announcement, which is just icing on the cake. You get the volatility spike into it, like we saw, and then we got a big dump, just like what happened yesterday, last night for me in England. You know, we got the announcement, price pumped up, came into the point of control, and at the time it wasn't the point of control, by the way, for the BTC USD pair on Bybit, but it was the point of control on the USDT pair. So it was an area of interest. You know, price came into it and then reacted off it. So, you know, we were sat there waiting for this level. Yes, it went through it initially, which is why you don't just smash, leave a limit order here, because, you know, if you had a really tight stop on that because you were hoping for big returns, then you got stopped out, or you could have been liquidated. You know, you just wait, you see the reaction, you enter in at market, and then you ride it down. It's as simple as that, and that's what we did. It's you don't know that price is going to react at a level. Nobody knows that price is going to react at a level. But what you've got to do is you've got to map these levels out on your chart like we did up here. You know, like we've been saying here. You know, if we do come up to this EQ/golden pocket around here, you know, it's called making a plan. If price gets to that level, if you see a good reaction, if you do see a good rejection, then you look to enter a trade. If you don't see any reaction, it just carries on moving, you just let it run. It's as simple as that. You don't know what's going to happen. All you know is the levels that you're interested in taking a trade. You know, like we've been saying for the past few weeks, I am interested in taking a trade down here. I am interested in looking for longs down here. I'm not saying I'm going to take one, but it's a plan. Because I don't know that price is going to react there. For all I know, price could just nuke straight through it. Or not even visit it in the first place. But it's just all about making that plan. Following on from that, obviously, if you want to know how we make these kind of plans and how I build these levels of confluence, then come check out our free Discord. You know, links down in the description. You know, we've just had a massive overhaul, by the way, of the Discord, so we've got way more education in there, especially in the free group. So much education. Tips, tricks, post-trade analysis. This is something that we used to call the profit shots, but we decided to update this for the free group to actually show the TA behind why we took these trades, which could be really helpful for a new starter to wonder, you know, why did you take that trade? And you know, you can see the charts that are shared in here, you can see the reasons why we're taking the trade. So therefore, you know, in the free group you can learn a hell of a lot, not to mention the alpha that's shared by the guys just posting charts upon charts upon charts with potential ideas. If you want to take things a bit further and actually learn along with us, then check out our website. You know, on the website we've got now well over 50 hours of educational content, ranging from absolute beginners, how to enter a trade, SR levels, volume profiles, how to read XO charts, how to read CVD. We're halfway through our Elliott Wave series. There's so much content on there now. So yeah, it's a paid service. I'm not going to sit here and it's free because I've put hours and hours of work into this. But for these prices, you know, you how can you grumble? If you don't follow us on Twitter, make sure you do. Again, links down in the description. We do post quite a lot of stuff on there, but we also do a lot of shit posting, so take everything on there with a pinch of salt. And until next time, gang, peace out.